Hello everybody and welcome back to part 20 of What If Peter Parker, also known as Spider-Man, was in the My Hero Academia universe. The series that started out as my #1 and is still going even on part 20 and now isn't the most popular on my channel because the anti-quirk one went above it. If you haven't seen the previous parts, there'll be a link in the description below and the annotation above so you can catch up on it. It's honestly pretty good in my opinion. People seem to like it. I really enjoyed making them and like how they ended up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and if you're and leave a like on that video too. It kind of tells me you guys want more of this series. I do have to warn you, there's spoilers for the manga, so proceed at your own risk if you haven't read it. Primarily the Chisaki Arc. The meeting starts and Night Eye explains the situation. He explains everything from the small details they have on the operation to the approximate mapping they have of the underground base thanks to Peter's drones. We are missing some crucial information, but thanks to these students, especially Peter, we have an approximate map of the underground base since we had a small drone go through their underground base. We lost eyes on the girl since it's a huge labyrinth, and we still don't know how to get into their base or if they moved the girl. Lockrock asks, "Why don't you just go back with the drone to the starting area?" Night answers, "Sadly, the drone was destroyed." Lockrock asks, "Does that mean we have been found out?" Night answers, "Not likely. They confused it with a spider and squashed it. It was a man named Dr. Otto Octavius who did the deed." The day before, Octavius finds the drone and breaks it with one of his mechanical arms. He brings it to his face and examines it. He says, "What an interesting contraption. Maybe I should tell Chisaki about this. On the other hand, it will suit me better if he doesn't know." He turns to a vial he's holding, a black substance with Venom standing near him. Venom asks, "You finished your examinations, Octavius?" Octavius answers, "Yes, but I would like to hold on to the sample for a bit longer." Venom says, "Well, whatever you need, Doc. I've been having trouble with my symbiote lately." Back in the present, Night Eye finishes explaining the situation, and they discuss making a raid in the near future. After the meeting, Aizawa walks to the students and tells them he almost canceled their internships for the day, since it's a very dangerous situation. But since Midoriya would jump into trouble no matter what, he didn't cancel it. This is a way that he can keep an eye on things. The next 2 days, class proceeds as usual. Peter kind of ignores his friends Harry and Gwen since he is very busy working on some devices that he knows will take down more villains in the situation if he encounters them. He knows that Venom might be there and is working on something to defeat Octavius easier. The days pass, and one night the 5 students that have an internship get a message in the middle of the night telling them where to go. The next morning, the heroes prepare themselves to storm the Yakuza base. The police re-explains the situation, reminding everyone about the priorities and everything else, even giving them charts on who they will be facing. At 8:30 a.m., the mission starts with the heroes and the police storming the base. The police rings the doorbell and a member of the 8 precepts bursts through the door, throwing 3 policemen in the air. Aizawa says, "We'll save them," and throws his binding cloth and jumps to get one. Midoriya jumps in the air to rescue another policeman, and Peter gets the other. Ryuku's team decides they will keep the members in the entrance busy since it's a very strong guy, while the rest of the heroes storm the base, since time is of the essence. Underground, Chisaki is trying to get away while his allies in the surface are easily taken care of by the heroes. The heroes enter the building and make their way to a wall. They stop. Naya starts pressing some planks, saying, "If we push these wooden panels in a certain order, it'll open." Bubble Girl says, "It's like a ninja house," and Senator Peter says, "Everyone be wary of their quirks." The door opens and some goons jump to attack the heroes, but they're easily taken care of. They go down the tunnel to find a wall in the way. Mira goes through it and comes back, informing the group that it was just an obstacle in their way. It was thrown last second. Deku and Red Riot break the wall down with ease, and the group continues to make their way towards the girl's room. Peter's spider sense starts tingling, and then the room starts warping. Mirio continues on his way, going through the warping room since he knows the way to Eri. Mimic just lets him go because he can't do anything. Peter's spider sense starts going off stronger, and Peter jumps in the air, sticking to the roof. Deku sees this and is about to jump as the floor opens up and swallows all the heroes, taking them out of the fight, like all the heroes and some policemen, taking them to fight the Yakuza underground. That group's actions are exactly the same as in the anime. If this is all new to you and you want to know what's happening, I suggest you read the anime or read the manga or wait for the anime. I'm just gonna follow Peter, the group that was left, like Peter as the only hero and some policemen. Peter, after seeing his friends being swallowed by the ground, tries to jump after them, but the floor closes behind them, so he can't. He gets back on his feet and breaks the closed wall because the corridor was kind of warped closed so that the policeman couldn't continue. The rest of the police that are left are there. After reaching an intersection, Peter doesn't know which way to go, and he looks at the policeman, recognizing one of them and asking, "Captain Stacy?" George Stacy steps to the foreground and says, "Yes, and you are?" Peter says, "It's me, Peter Parker, sir. I am friends with your daughter. Do you happen to remember the fastest way to the girl?" Captain Stacy says, "Oh right, Parker. I sadly don't remember the way to a girl, do you?" Peter says, "I'm not sure. It could be either or. But to save time, you take this direction and I'll take this one." Captain Stacy says, "Okay, good luck, Parker," and the policeman go in one direction as Peter goes in the other. Peter runs as fast as he can in that direction he was assigned and finds a room with voices coming out of there discussing something. Peter double taps his spider symbol. His suit starts turning black and green, and Peter going in, and then he turns invisible. Peter jumps on the roof and goes in the room through the roof into Octavius's laboratory. Peter starts listening to the villains trying to get their plan, but 30 seconds after he entered the room, Electro, someone who was with them, turns around and blasts a lot of electricity at him. Peter dodges and jumps back to the ground, turning invisible. He says, "Hey guys, what you up to?" Venom attacks Peter, saying, "Oh, hello, little spider. We're not up to a lot. We're just squashing a spider that we found." Peter evades the attack, jumping over Venom and dropping some little balls on the ground. Peter is then hit against a wall by Octavius's mechanical tentacle. Peter says, "Oh, hey, Doc.Ock." Octavius says, "I hate that name, but hello. You have some impressive technology there. I'm assuming the drone was yours." Peter's eyes widen when he realizes he says, You knew?" Octavius says, "Of course I did. I'm not stupid." Peter tries to tell, Peter goes to his earpiece and tries to say, "Guys, they knew we were coming. They might have gotten the girl out." Octavius tells him, That won't work. We're jamming communications, you idiot. Plus, it didn't suit me to tell Chisaki, so he doesn't know anyway." Peter grabs something out of his pocket and puts it on Octavius's tentacle, saying, "Well, thanks for that. Here's a little gift in return." Octavius's arm starts malfunctioning and hurting Octavius. Peter then says, noise cancelling mode, double tapping his spider symbol, and the green lines turn orange. and then he activates his sonic balls. Venom falls to the ground in pain, screaming, while his symbiote is going on and off him. Peter says, "Sorry, I didn't quite catch that." And Peter proceeds to attack Venom as he sees as the suit he's wearing is as Venom's suit is coming off and on again, not achieving cohesion. Octavius uses his hands to block his ears to save himself from the pain, or at least to block some of it. At this point, his mechanical arms fall off because he lost control of them because of a virus Peter put on them. And small metal objects from across the room start making their way to Octavius's back. I'm going to explain this. I'm grabbing this from the Ultimate Universe a bit, where Octavius could manipulate metal. In this version of events, he can control any small metal object, but from his back. It's very useful if he wants to make little tentacles. Peter was preoccupied with Venom, as he saw him as the biggest threat. And Octavius just breaks the balls while Peter is doing that. Electro says, that hurt a lot. You're going to pay." Peter's spider sense tingles because he can't hear Electro, and he turns around just to get hit with a lot of electricity. He's thrown to a table. He gets up and takes off his mask, saying, "Hey, you broke my suit. That was expensive, dude." Like, all his suit is now fried. He can't use any of it, not the web shooters, anything. Venom gets up behind Peter, saying, "That was a neat trick. My turn to show you some of mine." And he punches Peter with full force against the table, breaking a vial that was there. Peter, with a broken suit and some blood dripping from his face, says, "3 against 1? That's completely unfair, guys." A black substance starts creeping up his leg, though. For the next few minutes, Peter just evades as many attacks as he can, trying to counterattack but not being able to because there were too many targets. At a certain point, the goo spreads far enough and that covers his whole body, and Peter says, "Wow, that feels great." Peter notices some pipelines and says, "I've been training with an electric user for a while now, and I've learned something." Peter shoots a web at the pipe and brings it down a bit, throwing a lot of water in Electro's direction. "You guys don't fight well in water." The water hits Electro and the others, and they get electrocuted because of Electro's power. The police arrive and Captain States says the other way was blocked. We couldn't open it. It was another dead end. We need you to open the door. You kind of seem to have this place. You kind of seem to need help here. Venom gets up because Peter's attack didn't really do much, and Peter attacks him, trying to take him down. But Venom just hits a button on the wall, like he stretches and hits the button, and some blast doors come down, blocking the police from entering the room. At this point, Octavius gets up and says, "My mechanical tentacles have defeated your virus, kid. You're good at this." The mechanical arms restrain Peter, stretching him out so he can't do much. Octavius says, "Venom, please send our guest to sleep." Venom then knocks Spidey out, hitting them over the head. Octavius drops the metal tentacles, and the mechanical ones return to his back. He then says, "I hate using my quirk. The metal is very uncomfortable against my skin." "Take Electro, we are leaving," he tells Venom. Venom asks, where are we going?" as he grabs Electro. Octavius answers, "I'm going back to home base. You go back to the League. We have gotten all we can from the Yakuza. They're about to go to jail and whatnot. But we can still get more from the League. More intel, more information, more assets. So our plans have not changed." Venom asks, "What about the symbiote he has on, or the piece of my symbiote?" Octavius answers, "That is your area. Take it or leave it. But we have to go before the police open the blast door in 53 seconds. Venom puts his hand on Peter, reabsorbing the symbiote he had on. The suit Venom has on morphs a bit, making a white spider symbol in the middle. He then says, "Oh goody, some new abilities." And they leave using a secret exit. The police get in the room to find an unconscious Spider-Man bleeding a lot and with a very broken suit, scratched, bloody everywhere. Captain Stacy runs to him saying, "Oh my god." He picks him up and starts walking towards the exit to get some medical assistance. An officer asks him, "Where are you going?" Stacy answers, to a med bay or something. "If I let my daughter's friend die, I'll never hear the end of it." One of the officers says, "Wait." Captain Stacy turns around and asks, "What?" The other officer says, "You forgot his mask." Captain Stacy says, "Thanks. You guys keep going, okay?" Stacy takes Peter to the takes Peter up, trying to look to the nearest hospital. On the way up the stairs, Stacy whispers to an unconscious Peter, "You did good, kid. I'm proud of you." When Captain Stacy gets outside, he finds a giant fusion monster Shizaki fighting Midoriya, who is using 100% of One for All in the air. As Midoriya smashes the giant Chizaki monster into the ground, defeating him, Chizaki gets up and tries the last futile attack but is stopped and taken down by Uraraka. The day is saved and the mission ends at 9:15 a.m. The rescue is declared a complete success. I hope all of you enjoyed. Please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, leave any suggestions you have in the comments. And until next time, have a nice day, everyone. Bye! I know it was long, but sorry about that. Bye!